I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News update for Monday, August the 15th, 2016. A Palestinian woman was arrested yesterday after she stabbed a female IDF soldier in the West Bank. According to the Times of Israel, the terrorist was in a vehicle at the Shaked checkpoint in the northern West Bank. When she emerged from the vehicle, pulled out a knife and stabbed the Israeli soldier in the shoulder, lightly injuring her. The soldier was treated at the scene. The terrorist was subdued without any injury and taken for questioning. Israeli security forces demolished the home of Palestinian terrorist Mohammed Nasser Taraya overnight last night. The 17-year-old Taraya, if you recall, broke into the home of 13-year-old Hallel Yafe Ariel on June the 30th of this year in the West Bank settlement of Kiryat Arba and stabbed the girl to death in her bed. Taraya was killed shortly after by Kiryat Arba security guards. Members of Taraya's family were said to have been at least partially aware of his intentions to carry out the terror attack and also expressed their support of the murder of Ariel afterwards. Last night, members of the IDF's Combat Engineering Corps carried out the demolition order of Taraya's family home in the West Bank village of Bani Naim outside of Hebron. A Palestinian man who stabbed an Israeli police officer nearly 3 years ago was apprehended recently. Ynet reports that Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, together with the IDF and the Judea and Samaria District Police, arrested 21-year-old Muhammad Yunus Ali Abu Hanak from the West Bank for the stabbing attack that moderately wounded a policeman on December the 23rd of 2013. The Shin Bet said in a statement that it will, quote, continue to operate with all its available resources to prevent terror attacks and to bring the perpetrators to justice, even when a long time has gone by since the attack was committed. Israeli judoka Ori Sasson won a bronze for Israel on Friday at the Olympic Games in Rio. We had reported to you earlier that day that Sasson was snubbed after defeating his Egyptian rival Islam El Shahabi in the first round of the men's over 100-kilogram judo competition, when El Shahabi refused to shake his hand. Sasson went on from that first round to the semifinals, where he scored the bronze. He told Israel's Army Radio yesterday that while he was not surprised at El Shahabi's response, he said that to honor your rival is something I was educated to do, adding that the Olympics is built on respect. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told Sasson, "You showed the true face of Israel, a strong and peaceful country." And last night, family members and Israeli, Brazilian, and Olympic officials took part in a memorial ceremony at the Rio de Janeiro City Hall for the 11 Israeli athletes and coaches murdered by Palestinian terrorists at the 1972 Games in Munich, Germany. The ceremony follows a tribute held at the beginning of the month, which also honored the 11 men, led by the International Olympic Committee's president, Thomas Bach. Broadway and television actor Fiveish Finkel has died. Finkel passed away yesterday at his home in Manhattan. The veteran performer began his career over 80 years ago in the Yiddish theater and made his way to the New York Shakespeare Festival, to Broadway, and to television, and including his very popular run on the show Picket Fences, for which he won an Emmy. According to the Yiddish Artists and Friends Actors Club, Finkel's funeral service will be held this Wednesday, August the 17th, at the Sutton Place Synagogue in New York City. He was 93 and is survived by 2 sons, 3 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. The beloved Fiveish Finkel was on JBS a number of times, including a time that he sat with JBS President Mark Golub to reminisce about his career before lighting the menorah for Hanukkah.
I was in the Yiddish theater.
You were,
from 9 years old till I was 43. Then I went into the American theater. The Jerome Robbins directed Fiddler on the Roof. So I went to the First National Company.
What was your role?
The innkeeper.
Yep.
I did that, and then they promoted me, so to speak. I did the butcher, and then later on I did Tevye. Let me put that in here. There we are. Oh, That's
Beautiful, beautiful. Fifth night of Hanukkah. Mitsuyan.
L'chaim. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Fifth night of Hanukkah. Does it get better than this?
And taking a look now at our programming on JBS for tonight, Monday, August the 15th. At 7 o'clock, the wisdom of Dr. Ruth Westheimer. At 7:30, Dan Gilbert talks about the science of happiness. At 8, Ari Shavit of Haaretz, Eric Yaffe, President Emeritus of the Union for Reform Judaism, and Israeli Knesset member Stav Shafir talk about issues challenging Israel with Jody Cantor of the New York Times. At 9, Mark Golub speaks with Executive Director of the Israel Religious Action Center, the legal and advocacy arm of the reform movement in Israel, Anat Hoffman, on Voices of Israel. And at 10, renowned essayist and author Cynthia Ozick shares her views on Jewish writers from the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Vice President of the International Raoul Wallenberg Foundation, Danny Reiner, discusses the new KGB diary and what it says about the death of Holocaust hero Wallenberg, as I sit in for Mark Golub on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News update for Monday, August the 15th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.